I feel like Joe Burrow and the Bengals may have a great shot to break through. Joe Burrow, they did tests on him. He's got a heart rate that doesn't change whether he's in a firestorm or, taking a nap.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Brandon Tierney. Welcome to Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is, NFL Futures Edition, brought to you by BetMGM. Now, the game's pretty simple. Each week, two of the greatest sports minds around compete against each other to make you a little scratch. We'll find the best future bets for the offseason, break down what's to come. I'll decide who earns the cash at the end of the show. We'll break it down with one big bet. All right, having said that, let's rock and meet who our competitors are today. All right, some familiar faces. We get a little bookend. First episode, last episode. Now, you're still hunting your first win. We got Danny Brasco in the house. Danny, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good to be back. I'm hungry for that first one, see if I can secure it. Kenny's no easy competitor, though, so I have my work cut out for me.
I like it. How'd you do in the Super Bowl, by the way?
I did
make
good.
A little money?
Yeah, I was on the Chiefs, and that cashed big time, so I'm very happy. Fantastic game. One of the great Super Bowls I've ever seen.
It was awesome. That last call aside, there was so much theater in that game. I'm with you. All right, Kenny bets big. He cleaned up. He had the Chiefs and all sorts of futures. He had the Chiefs on Super Bowl Sunday. What's happening, man? How you?
Not much, man. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back.
You gonna beat this guy again?
Of course. Come on. I'm gonna beat him like I think I said the first time. I'm gonna beat him like he stole something.
You guys ready to have some fun?
Of course.
Let's go, man. Let's go. All right, guys. First up, we call Quickfire. Very simple. I'm going to fire a bunch of questions at you. Give me a quick hit. Whoever gets the answer, you get points, you get money. We just add it up. We see who's on top after that. Danny, you're going to get us going here. We start right now. According to BetMGM, the Chiefs are obviously the favorite to win the Super Bowl again. Next year, right now, they're plus 500 for $30. Who has the next shortest odds? By the way, an extra $20 if you tell me what those odds are. So who's the next shortest and specific odds for an extra 20? Who do you got?
And what were the Chiefs odds?
Plus 500.
Plus 5. I feel like it's probably the favorites going into last season who will be the second odds-on favorites, probably the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, do you have a number for us?
If the Chiefs are plus 500, I'll go Bills plus 550.
Okay, partially right. We'll give Kenny a chance to swipe this here. What do you have?
I'm gonna go Niners.
You going Niners? Okay, at what number?
Plus 650.
That's funny. I'm going to have to, I'm going to split this one down the middle. We're going to give you each guys $30 here. You said the Bills, it's the Bills. You said the Niners, it's also the Niners. They're tied at plus 850, $30 a piece.
All right, I'll take that.
Good start. I like it. These guys are ready to go. All right, next one. Kenny, you're first up here. So the first one to shout out the answer. So it's like school, like when all hell breaks loose and you don't respect the teacher, you don't even raise your hand. Just shout out the answer for $40. What team was the last team to win back-to-back Super Bowls that isn't named the Patriots? A little history lesson here, boys.
Steelers.
Nope.
Oh, I have it.
Come on, start yelling teams out. It's a process.
Can I just go again?
Go.
The Cowboys.
No.
Cowboys.
No.
Niners.
No. Guys, I'll give you a little hint.
Commanders.
Oh, the Redskins.
No. Terrell Davis, man. Remember TD with the Broncos?
Broncos.
Yeah.
Salute.
The salute, the mile-high salute.
It's a little before my time.
Oh, you still know your history, Kenny. We get nothing here.
Cowboys. I was getting desperate, dude.
This one's going to be a little tricky because there's a lot of answers, all right? So it's a little convoluted. Listen up to the directions here. So we have the NFL.com list of the top 16 worst free agents in NFL history, all right? Really, since the modern free agency rules were established back in '93. For $50, you'll each have 3 different guesses to give me one of them. So we'll basically go boom, 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 boom. I've got the entire list. If you get one, you get the points. You get the money, I should say. Danny, go first. Give me one.
So the 16 worst free agent signings?
Yep.
I guess that's sort of like how they panned out in retrospect?
Correct.
I'm going to go with Russell Wilson for the first one most recently.
He's not on the list.
No
Russell
way.
Wilson's not on the list. Your turn.
So rewrite that list.
Not on the list. I don't
Free-
disagree. He was terrible this year. God.
Free agent
Yep.
signings.
The worst. NFL.com, the 16 worst.
Man, this is tough.
It's tough. This goes back to the 90s.
Give me like a hint,
Like a team.
A
or
hint. Okay.
Because I want to get these, but
He was a
free
running
agent-
back for Dallas who was pretty good with Dallas, went elsewhere, stunk.
Felix Jones.
Nope. Somewhat
DeMarco
recent.
Murray.
There you go.
There
we'll
we
give you
go.
something
That's a
there.
good one. Thank
All
you.
right,
All right,
you
here we
got
go.
it. You got one. Nnamdi Asomugha, the Eagles cornerback
Forgot
in
about that
2011.
one.
He came from the Raiders. Albert Hainsworth stole somebody for the Redskins, the then Redskins in 09. Adam Archuleta back in 06. And a lot of these are older to be fit, like Ahman Green, running back, Jeff Garcia, David Boston, Andre Rison with the Browns in the mid-90s, Scott Mitchell with Detroit. Those are some old names. All right, guys, here we go. We got to do this one here. Where's the wheel? I need some wheel action. Get the wheel. Danny, I'm going to spin this guy behind me. And for $60, you're going to have to name, oh, I love this. This is always fun. 8 players from the team it lands on. 8, all right?
All right.
Actually, Kenny, give me that spin for give that a spin for me. Now,
So I'm doing this?
no, spin it up.
All right.
If you can't do it, then you could swipe in and steal it. But you're going to go first. Go ahead, spin that thing,
Oh,
Ken.
man. Football
Let's
season's
go.
over, too.
Oh,
I've been looking at my
yeah.
player
Let's
props
go.
and my book.
Boy, for a big, strong guy, that was one weak-ass spin. The Tennessee Titans. We got 30 seconds up on the board. I'm going to need 8 players. Start rambling. Go.
Let's go with Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, Robert Woods. Oh man, this is gonna suck. All of a sudden blanking. David Long, is he still on their team as a linebacker? I'm already pulling straws
That's
here.
tough.
Oh, this is brutal.
Spotlight's bright here on the show.
Who was that that rookie receiver they got? Oh my God, he was fantastic this year.
Time's ticking. 5. We're inside of 5. We're down to 3.
fast.
That's it. He's not getting it. 2. And sock him. You don't look like you have any idea about this,
So,
do you?
am I
You got 3.
Am I doing the Titans?
You're going to do the Titans.
All right, so we got, what, Derrick Henry, Tannehill, Malik Willis,
Oh, there you go.
Willis, nice.
Yeah, good call. Back up. I'll give you a hint. Somebody was just cut.
Taylor Lewan.
A good offensive lineman. Taylor Lewan. That's another one.
Taylor
4.
Lewan. We got the dude with the red sleeves, man. What's his name? What's his name? The guy with the red sleeves. Oh, Judon. Matt Judon.
Matt Judon,
Yeah, he was
defensive
on- he was
player,
on the
formerly
Pats.
the Pats. Yep.
Yep.
Where we at? We're at 4. We're at 3. You need 2 more. We're at 2.
Did I say Derrick Henry?
Not happening.
Derrick
Did
Henry.
I say Derrick Henry? I think that was the first
Who's
name
that
you
rookie
said.
receiver I couldn't name? he had a great year, great rookie year.
geez,
Trey-
don't put me on the
Treylon
spot. It's not
Burks.
my thing,
Treylon
man.
Burks.
Burks. Yep,
Treylon
yep,
Burks.
There you go.
See, I can name off when the pressure is not on. It's easier. When
Yeah,
the clock's
easy.
ticking, you know,
Pressure's
DT's,
palpable.
yeah,
I know. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
All right,
That was
guys.
pathetic.
Let's
I got the QB, the wide receiver, and the RB. That's it.
let's pick it up, boys. We have high expectations for you. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. We're going to jump into something we call Rough Draft. Quick scoreboard update, though. Danny leading the way. He's got 80. Kenny, he's in the neighborhood. He's at 30. So Rough Draft is simple. We know the NFL draft's approaching here. Want to give you guys a chance to establish some parameters, what you expect happening either at the quarterback spot, the number 1 overall spot, something that you might gravitate to that you think is a lock, something that you like that nobody else is really throwing out there. We'll start with the first overall pick. Kenny, you're going to go first on this one, okay? So we have Bryce Young right now, Bama, of course, minus 105 to go first overall. C.J. Stroud, the Buckeyes, he's at plus 250. How do you see the first overall spot kicking out here?
I mean, I guess just looking at the odds, right? What odds makers think here, it's going to be Bryce Young. You see what he's done in college, right? You know, last few years, he's done nothing but prove himself as the best quarterback in the country. So yeah, you know, he's the most pro-ready quarterback. So you see the teams at the top of the draft that are probably going to be interested in a quarterback. You know, the Colts, the Texans, they want a pro-ready quarterback that can probably step in and start playing right away. So I'll go Bryce Young.
All right, so Danny, how about you? First round, first overall pick. Anything different there?
I have to agree with Kenny. I mean, the need for a quarterback is prevalent for 5 out of the 7 top teams, right? The first 7 picks of the draft. So whether Bryce Young, I mean, there's even talk of the Bears potentially abandoning Justin Fields and going for Young. If there's even a hint of that, then you got to think that either they do that unthinkably. I
don't think that's going to happen with you.
I agree with you. But if there's talk of that, that means that number 1 asset is so valuable that someone will trade up for that. And I think Bryce Young is, like Kenny said, the most NFL-ready quarterback far and away, and he should be the first overall pick, however it plays out.
Okay, good answers, both of you guys. I would agree with both of those setups there. I like them. Danny, back to you now. Favorite bet in the entire first round? Could be, I mean, a first defensive player. Could be anything you want it to be. Give us something creative. What are you thinking?
I like exactly that. I like betting on the first defensive player. I'm going to go with a lineman out of Georgia. I mean, how do you dislike that? Yep. Jalen Carter. This guy looks like another monster. All that Georgia does is breed fantastic defensive linemen. He gets off the ball so quick, explosive, strong. He has all the makings of that raw talent to just be a disruptor on any defensive line. We see the new modern NFL. On the offensive side, it's quarterback play. On the defensive side, it's a pass rush. And those are things you have to be a successful team. team, I think he'll be the first defensive player off the board at plus 100. Those are great odds.
That's a good odd. That's a good number. I do like that at plus 100 as well. That might change before the draft for the worse. What about you? Anything good?
Yeah, so I'm going to go first wide receiver drafted.
Wide receivers. It's fun talking wide receivers
yeah,
with
right?
the draft, right?
They're the divas, man.
Yeah.
I'm going Quentin Johnson from TCU.
Okay. Stud.
Yeah, absolute stud. Big physical wide receiver. Body fit for the NFL, right? Like you've seen what DK Metcalf has done since he's come into the league. And then you just look at every mock draft. There's some guys that have him going as high as 5th overall. So I don't think there's a pretty big gap between him and the next guy. So I think him first wide receiver off the board. You can find the plus money too, plus 120.
I think it's plus 160.
Plus 160,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
even better.
fantastic.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's probably the best bet of the NFL draft.
Who's the second receiver? Is it Jordan Addison, you think, if you had to put some money
Addison,
behind that?
yeah, or a guy
From Ohio State?
Yeah, Ohio State, yeah. Jackson,
Okay.
yeah.
Surprised the guy from Tennessee doesn't get more love. Hyatt.
Yeah, but you know what? There's no Garrett Wilsons in this year's draft. The offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah,
no
there's better
Sosa
ones.
either.
How about that? Winning
Well, that's
a vote.
incredible.
I mean,
Got no excuses now, Jets. Get a quarterback in to start winning some games. Guys, I think you both present compelling positions there because I like you guys, and we got a tight matchup so far. I'm going to give you $40 a piece. All right? So, Danny, that bumps you up to 120, and Kenny's still hanging around. Kenny is now up to 70, so minus 50 as we keep it moving. Okay. All right, let's go. All right, we jump into something we call a little future profits. Always fun trying to get a sense of the market, how it's going to shape up here. Danny leading the way. He's up 120. Kenny is at 70, so a $50 deficit. Chance to make a move here. This is worth $50, by the way, so a big spot. Danny, you're up first. I'm going to basically give you guys a situation, and I want you to tell me which is the more likely scenario, whichever one I deem the better answer. $50 your way. Ready? All right, the Niners quarterback situation. It's interesting. I mean, the way it started, the way it finished. So Brock Purdy starts for the Niners in 2023, or Trey Lance starts for the Niners in 2023. More likely. Go ahead, Danny.
Well, Purdy's dealing with the surgery he may need to have, so that his availability may be in question. But if the nature of the question is who's going to be the quarterback to lead the way for the season, I think I have to side with Brock Purdy just because of the campaign that he put together in his rookie showing. I mean, he's, top 5 in, all-time rookie QBRs and putting up numbers like that, leading his team to the NFC Championship game. I don't think that the fan base would love if you abandoned that, regardless of how it went. Of course, they drafted Lance, and he's a promising prospect, but, they got Brock Hard Purdy merchandise they're selling. This guy is all of a sudden a staple and a marquee name in the franchise. I think you have to see where that goes when he's ready to go. So I'm going to pick him.
Going to ride Brock. A little surprised with that. Kenny, how about you?
See, the question wasn't who they want to ride with. It's who's going to be the starter. So
here we go.
Of course, in a perfect world, the 49ers would love to have Brock Purdy back, but the guy needs surgery. There's obviously some complications that just arose, isn't able to have the surgery yet.
The inflammation, got to wait a month.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to be ready for the start of the season. So, I think it's either going to be Trey Lance or maybe Jimmy G comes back. I don't know. But
I think they're done with Jimmy. I think
nuts because he's the most winningest quarterback in 49er history.
I hear you. I'm not saying I would get rid of him,
Wow.
but they were pretty demonstratively committed to him at the press conference, and they're like, he's done.
No, yeah. But I'm just,
you can't go back on your word, but
so out of those two, I think Trey Lance is the more likely starter to open the season for the Niners.
I agree. You know what? I'm going to have to give Kenny the 50 spot here, just based on the logistics, the timetable here. That inflammation is a problem. That kicks surgery down the road for a month, which starts to interfere with OTAs and the ability to assert yourself. I don't think he's going to be ready. I'm with you. I think it's Trey Lance to start. Whether or not that's ultimately good for them, we'll see. But I think that you got that one right. So Kenny's got 50 bones right there. All right, number 2. Kenny, you're up first. Lamar Jackson signs a long-term deal in Baltimore. That thing's still a little contentious. That's not resolved yet. Or Russell Wilson and the Broncos have a redemption year.
Oh my
God, they were bad last year. Wow.
Yeah, can't neither. Nah.
None of the above.
Yeah, I'm not high on the Broncos at all. I think, what Russ showed us this year was just that he was a product of the environment he was in early in his career with Seattle, the Legion of Boom, Pete Carroll. Look what Pete Carroll just did with Geno Smith, right? Marshawn Lynch. Russ was just in a great position to start his career. And then you look at the division, the Chiefs, the Chiefs aren't going anywhere. the Raiders potentially, let's say the Raiders get Aaron Rodgers and the Chargers, getting the new offensive coordinator, I think the Chargers are going to take a big step forward.
So do I.
So there's a chance the Broncos are the worst team in their division. So I have to say, I guess there's a better chance Lamar signs a long-term deal.
Okay, so Lamar, that he returns, and again, that's been contentious for a while. Some people think he may quit on him, so we'll see. Danny, Lamar coming back, or Russell Wilson and the Broncos bouncing back?
I just think there's no way that Lamar returns to Baltimore. I think that relationship is defined by resentment at this point. And you saw what happened. I mean, he was certainly injured. He had the MCL sprain, but even if there was a slight chance of that being ready for the playoffs, there's no way he would have played that game because he owes the city of Baltimore and that franchise no more. So, look, on the Broncos side, it's tough to make a compelling argument for them, but simply put, you can't go lower than the bottom. Like, there was nothing that went right for them. The play calling stunk. The quarterback play stunk. The running back play stunk. Everything stunk. It's got to get the defense, on the back of their defense, they could have won a few more games if the offense wasn't completely anemic.
And they have talent.
That secondary is real. So if they can get anything going on offense at all, despite being in a stacked division, like Kenny pointed out, I think they could do a little bit better than the putrid season they put together last year. So I just think there's no chance Lamar returns. I'll take Russell on the Broncos to figure something out and do a little bit better than last year's garbage season.
So basically the lesser of two evils.
Essentially, yeah.
I agree. I think Lamar's done in Baltimore. I'm going to give you a 50 spot right there.
Where do you think he goes?
I don't know. I think that if the Jets whiff on Rodgers, no, I do. You got Joe Douglas's relationship with Baltimore. I
mean, we get this guy at his Jets.
Joe Douglas. Joe worked there. He's got relationships.
No.
You know that matters, man. You've been around the game.
Of course, it does.
I think I think that he probably at that point, if it's not the Jets, NFC. I don't know how it's palatable for them to ship him to a team in the division or in the conference when he's 25. You probably look to ship him out, and if you meet him in the Super Bowl, you deal with it. But that seems broken. I think that relationship is fractured.
You know how it gets fixed? They just write the
money.
check.
All right. Aaron Rodgers spends the 2023 season with the Jets, or Rodgers spends the 2023 season in a darkness retreat. So it's not Jets Raiders, it's Jets darkness. Go ahead, why don't you get us going?
What is the difference between the Raiders and a darkness retreat?
Well, the Jets are ascending and the darkness never ends. The Jets are coming to light.
Both of those are darkness retreats. Yeah, I don't think he's going to the Jets at this point in his career with all the animosity and the drama. I feel like maybe he lives on it and he thrives on that and he just loves to be the center of attention regardless of if it's positive or negative, and that would suit him well in New York, but I just can't imagine him going to rebuild the Jets. I don't see. Is he going to play hero for New York?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's
You do
in his
realize the Jets
identity.
have a top 10 defense. You know that, right? You do realize they have the offensive rookie of the year. You know that, and Garrett Wilson. I mean, you do know that, right? Like, there's a time to crack on the Jets, and it's legit.
But
I don't think it's the time now with a quarterback. I feel like I don't know what to expect with this guy. I mean, I'm here for it. I think it will be fun as a Jets fan. I'd rather do that for 2 years than give Derek Carr 5 years. But again, the question wasn't the Jets and the Raiders; it was the Jets and darkness. So your answer has to be the Jets, otherwise you're not getting $50. I mean, he's going to stay in darkness forever.
I choose ayahuasca.
Okay, all right, that's one long trip. What about you?
I mean, you're putting a gun to my head. You just really
That's the question.
want to hear me say the Jets.
Is he going to stay in the hole? Is he going to go back in the hole or go to the Jets?
He's definitely not staying back in the hole. But
Exactly.
I mean, the hole might be better than the Jets.
So let me ask you this. So give you guys a clearer path to an answer, because he's obviously already out of the hole.
Here's why I say
Jets or Raiders. Let's answer it from a football point of view.
I'll
amend the question.
I say the Raiders just from a history repeats itself. I'm a Mets fan. I said it. I think I said this on the first episode we ever did. The Mets, the Jets, the Knicks, they're just the same team where they can't get out of their own way. All my Jets fans friends talk, Kenny, we're getting Aaron Rodgers. No, you're not. The Jets aren't getting Aaron Rodgers.
So why would the Raiders get him? With this glorious history about the Raiders, have I missed it the last 20 years? What have I missed?
California kid, Devontae reconnection.
I mean, just look at it. Yeah. So Devontae Adams, right? He's already played with him. They have Josh Jacobs if they re-sign him.
I think he's going.
All right,
he's
so
leaving.
If he leaves,
frustrated
he's leaving.
But let's just say if he stays, they got the leading right offensive coach in McDaniels. So I just think it's a better fit for him. I think it's a team that's more ready to win right now.
And to the point about offensive, I mean, Salah's a defensive-minded guy. That's what he brings. So maybe it's more of a system that might attract him.
And I'm not sold on Salah for the record, but so both of you guys are saying Raiders.
I would agree. Yeah.
All right, both of you get nothing.
Yeah, we knew
I'm
that.
fine with that.
We knew that was coming. Yeah.
Here's a big fat 0. How's that taste? All right, guys, good job on that. Let's keep it moving. All right, guys, crunch time. And Kenny, you got a little ground to make up, but we got a tight one so far. Danny 170, Kenny at $120. We call bet to the future. 1 or 2, you can hedge if you want. A Super Bowl future bet, or maybe an award, whatever jumps out to you. Split the bankroll up. Go for it. Let's get Danny. You lead, so we want to give Kenny a chance to respond after. Go ahead. What do you have?
Okay, so I got 170 in the bankroll right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna sprinkle a bunch of different futures and see if I can pick the Super Bowl winner for next year. The 2 that I've got in my mind right now, I'm gonna pick one AFC, one NFC. I feel like Joe Burrow and the Bengals may have a great shot to break through. I was watching the Caps Off guys here at the game day, and they were talking to Trey Wingo about how Joe Burrow, they did tests on him. He's got a heart rate that doesn't change whether he's in a firestorm or, taking a nap. So this guy's just so cool under pressure. The team feels like it's bonding around him, and Zach Taylor is actually a decent coach. So if the defense stays as hard-nosed as they've been, Burrow and that receiving core, I think, are ready to break through.
What if they lose Higgins in a trade? They might not sign him.
That would be big. He's a good Robin to the Batman of Jamar Chase.
No question.
That would be big. But I do like them as maybe a chance to knock off the Bills and the Chiefs as maybe the more considered AFC favorites.
Good call.
And then in the NFC, it feels like, Rocky had to lose to Apollo first, right? I mean, the Eagles might have their chance to get back to the Super Bowl and get revenge. I mean, Jalen Hurts feels like he needed to take that loss to become great, and that guy's a winner, man.
He is.
So plus 900 on both of those. I guess I'll sprinkle maybe 40-40 and save some for hedges down the road if I see another team emerge.
All right, that's a sound philosophy. What are you doing there, big man? What do you got?
I don't hate that Eagles pick, especially, if you've seen a lot of the mock drafts, they have Bijan Robinson going to the Eagles, which is just insane.
God.
But I'm going to go Chargers. So I think I have 120, right? Yeah, 120. So I'm going to put 120 on the Chargers to win the Super Bowl. They're plus 2,000. I just think if you look at the progression of Herbert so far in his career, he's gotten a little better every year so far. They were just up, 27-0 in the playoff game against the Jaguars before they absolutely collapsed in the second half. So you have that chip on your shoulder. You're coming back. Another year, Khalil Mack in the system. Another year, with all these superstars that they added last year. And then you add Kellen Moore as an offensive coordinator. Look at what the Cowboys offense was these last few years, right? You take him out of there and you give him to someone like Justin Herbert, that offense is just going to be insane. So, yeah, I think the Chargers are poised to make a big run this year. A lot of noise.
Okay, that's a wrap, boys. Solid work today. Nice seeing everybody. Good job there, Danny boy.
Always a pleasure.
Kenny Betts Big, my man down there. Good work. I really enjoy seeing you guys.
Yeah,
now, if you lose again, you're not allowed back on the show.
I won't be coming back. Yeah, I'll be leaving with a paper bag on my head.
Gotcha. And that'll just about wrap it up. Comment below on the 2023-2024 NFL future bets you're looking at before the season. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you head over to thegameday.com for the latest offers from BetMGM. Keep the sweat going in the offseason, and don't forget to put your money where your mouth is.